Well, hello everybody. This is Tim Mai. Welcome to another Heroes Alliance interview. Today I have on the line with us Shukoor. He's a good friend from way back when. He lives in the Atlanta market. He's been a real estate investor for 15 years, for over 15 years. Done over 700 deals, which is a lot of deals. And he also has a coaching program that he takes students on to teach them how to find deals, how to wholesale, how to do rehabs. He partners with them on deals, and that's part of how he does so many deals is like he does his own marketing, do his own deals, and at the same time leveraging other investors in his market and leveraging their marketing dollars, leveraging their network to do more deals as well. So I'm really excited to do this interview. Rock, how are you, buddy?
Hi, Tim. Good to hear from you again and see you again. I know we live two part of the world, actually in U.S., but two separate cities, and we don't see each other often. I wish we
Right.
could, but it's been great. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yes. So why don't we start with if you can share with everybody a little bit about yourself and how did you get started in real estate investing?
Do you want the long version of it or the short one? Let me give you the short one because we don't have a whole lot of time, and I know that people got things to do. So rather than hearing about me, but if you want to know more about me, I'm sure we will. Yeah, you will hear about me. Anyway, I started real estate in 2000, and that was 15, 16 years ago. I started doing real estate because I was tired, sick and tired of people basically overworking me and not paying me enough. I
Wow.
worked for Pizza Hut back then, and I was one of the seven superstar managers. I turned a 12,000 a week store into a $25,000 a week store, which turned it into $1 million store.
Wow.
And when it came time for raises, they gave me 2% raise rather than five.
Right.
And guess what? I was working 60, 70 hours a week, making $35,000 only. And rather than 5%, which made a big difference in my life back then, yeah, they gave me 2% raise. So that kind of pissed me off. And because I was one of the seven superstar managers, they did not give me the raise because I missed my labor by 1/10%. That was the only thing I was missing. Everything else was aligned, and I was
Mm.
beating all my targets, which were very high. So, needless to say, I looked at that and like, this is not for me. I got to do something for myself. I was always an entrepreneur. My dad was. So I wanted to have my own business, and I started thinking and talking to one of my friends, and he said, "Well, why don't you look at real estate?" And he gave me an lease option course back then,
Mm.
and that was in December of '99. So in January of 2000, there was a super conference in Atlanta, and I went to that super conference, and I spent $26,000 in those 3 days. And here's the thing, the $26,000 that I spent, I didn't have the money, so I used all my credit cards. I maxed out a couple of credit cards. And back then, I had a $500 cash in my bank. That's all I had. I had a $1,200 monthly mortgage. I had a $700 monthly car payment, and I had a new baby and a 4-year-old baby. So I
Wow.
decided real estate is for me, and I'm going full head on, and that's what I did. So I believe if you really believe in yourself and you want to get things done, put yourself at risk. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. No
Right.
risk, no goodies, right?
Right, exactly. That's awesome. Wow. That's a bold move to make, get started in a brand new industry, a brand new business and invest $26,000. So that's really bold.
Well, here's one thing that I kind of I tell these people: if you don't believe in yourself, you will never take the risk. You will never get out of your comfort zone. The other thing, you always got to have your good support team. In that January, my son was born. My son was born the second day of that webinar or that
Hmm.
seminar.
Hmm.
So I left the seminar going to the hospital because my wife called me, said I'm on my way to the hospital because my water broke.
Right.
So
Oh.
I said, good. All right. By the time you get to the hospital, I'll be there too. So I left half of the day during lunch. I left, went to the hospital. I told her that, we were talking because we had plenty of time right during the labor, just sitting by her bed, and she would just squeeze the hell out of my hands time to time. But, but either way, so I told her, I said, I'm going to do real estate from now on. We are going to do real estate. She said, okay, well, good. That means since I can go back to work for a while, I guess that'll be a good supplement income. I said, no, you didn't hear me. I'm gonna do real estate. She said, full time? I said, yeah. I see people there that can do it. I know I can too. She's like, who's gonna pay the bills? Well, she said, I'm not working. If you don't work and you do real estate, who's gonna pay the bills? I told her, I said, real estate is going to pay our bills, and this is why I'm gonna do it full time. She just paused for a couple of seconds, and less than 10 seconds, she said, well, I believe in you. I know you can do it. If you want to go for it, go for it. So that was my decision that
Oh,
I
wow.
made, and she made it with me.
That's
And
awesome.
after 3 days of spending 26,000, I went back to my supervisor. I told him, I said, I am working on that things because you guys are not taking care of me. He didn't believe me. He said, okay. He said, well, I'll work with you. So after going to a couple of those boot camps, I put a property on a contract. I rehabbed it, um, and I sold that property really quickly for $36,000 profit.
Nice.
So by mid-February, I had a check in my hand with $36,000 profit, and that made up my mind 100% that I was right. I knew what I was doing, and I was going to do real estate for the rest of my life. Because looking at that check, I was looking at working for the whole year and make $5,000, or work even part-time, working a full-time job, and I made $36,000 in one deal. I think that's it.
That's
So I
awesome.
was hooked since then. I've been an addict since then.
Right. So what was the time frame from the time that you invested at 26,000, got started in real estate to the time that you cashed your check? How many months was that?
It wasn't more than a month and a half.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the things that happened when I learned from that seminar, and I truly, Tim, I know you believe in this. People who know things and don't take action are not going to get anywhere.
Right.
To me, learning and just knowledge is entertainment. If you
Right.
don't take action on the knowledge that you have learned, you really learn it for entertainment purposes, nothing else.
Right.
So I have always believed that. So when I went to that seminar, I took up of I bought more than one $5,000 program, and one of those things I learned that if you work with real estate agents, they are one of the good people that you can really have in your team, especially a good real estate agent. So the first thing I did, right the fourth day of that seminar, I went and called a few real estate agents, local real estate agents, and one of those agents told me, well, I have a deal. It's really a rundown property. It's in a good neighborhood. The sellers are about to lose it, but if you want to look at it, it might be a waste of your time.
Mm,
I say, let's go
I
look
like
at it.
that.
And that was the deal. That was, everyone thought it was waste of their time,
Right.
and I put it in a contract.
Nice.
And honestly, I have used hard money only twice in the last 700 deals that I have done. That was my first hard money loan, and when I got the money, when I got the profit, I knew I was hooked, and I got the deal done.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know you teach your students like 7 ways to find deals. Could you share with us, what are those 7 ways?
One of those things is that real estate agents and dealing with agents and brokers because they are gold mine. They really are sitting on pot of gold. They don't know it themselves, and that's why most of them are finding deals for us. There's a way to do business, and real estate agents have their way of doing business, and that's totally cool.
Right.
So working with real estate agents and brokers is one of them. To me, the quickest way of doing deals is working with the people you already know, people in your circle of influence. So pick up your phone. If I have over 1,800 people on names and numbers in my phone. I was talking to one of my coaching students who signed up with me last year. She's got over 5,000 names and numbers, and she wasn't even in doing real estate. She was in management, but So she has a lot of people. Basically, the people that you know, your neighbors, your partners, your friends, your contractors, anyone that you know, call them and ask them if they know of a vacant house, a rental house, or for sale by owner house. They don't have to have their own house for sale, but you never know. If you're calling 10 people, one of my coaching students sign up with me. The first thing that I teach is I have a 90-day action plan. Here's a sample of it, right?
Ah, nice. Okay.
The first thing on that 90-day action plan is calling your contact list. So I give them a plan, go from A to Z. First day, call your 10 people, and I give them the script to use. She used that, and she got 3 deals in the first day of making calls, and she made only 10 calls. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, unfortunately, 2 of those deals were so bad and totally run down, and the mortgages were really bad, and the property itself was sitting vacant for a long time. So it wasn't worth doing. But well, the third deal, we have it under contract, and we are about to make around $35,000 profit out of that deal.
Nice.
It's a $200,000. The value of the property is 230. The payoff on it is 189, and we actually purchased the property subject to the existing mortgage for 189.
Gotcha.
So there's a $40,000 profit in there. So we are going to use that. The other ways I talk about, as you are a big believer of doing direct mail marketing. So I focus on out-of-state owners, vacant properties, landlords who are going through evictions, probate, divorce, and all of that. So we focus on those. Now, out of the 7 ways, I tell people, I'm going to show you 7 ways, but you don't have to do all 7. You go through it, see which ones fit your personality and which ones you can do more on regular basis, and then pick only 2 or 3. That's all, right? That's what you believe in too, right?
Yep.
Because no reason to do 7 things and 7 ways of doing deals when you don't like 3 or 4 of it. Because to me, one of the reasons I want to do this business so I can set my own time, I do the things I like that makes me, successful and make a profitable business. And if you don't like it, you don't need to do it because you're your own boss. Focus on things that you do like. So I also talk about networking, going to RIAs, going to events. I had an marketing event. I was teaching people how to do marketing. I did that event once a year for about 4 years, and then I totally got tired of it. And besides, I have 7 rehab projects, and the market has changed so much that I got so many deals I'm working with, and also my coaching students deals. I didn't have enough time, so I shut that down. And but that's one of the things going on those events, because most of those events you will find some really good active people and investors that you can either buy the deals from, sell the deals to, or partner up with them to do deals. One of the things I talk about and teach people is how to find properties that their taxes have been sold. So tax liens, and I'm not going after purchasing the tax liens from the county. My focus are people who are actually who have bought the tax liens. Those are investors, and if they foreclose on a property, they get property for pennies on a dollar. And besides, I go to homeowners whose taxes have been sold. So I give the people the script and the direct piece marketing or mail marketing and things like that to use those, and those are easy ways to find deals.
Okay. All right, so let me recap here and make sure that we hit off. So first was agents, right? Contacting real estate.
Well, if you want to go by numbers, the way I tell them is the easiest way and the fastest way. Go to your contact list first.
Okay, contact list.
Yep.
So contact list first, and then agents.
Nope. Go to the second thing I think I didn't mention was go online. Do your web research. You and I believe in virtual assistants, so hire someone to do that research for you. You do it yourself. Get your kids to do it, your wife, your spouse, or whatever. Okay. Go online and find any and all for sale by owners. And
okay. So like going on Craigslist, for example, finding for sale by owner ads and such. Okay.
Yep.
So contact list, online search.
Yep.
What's your third one?
Third one is reaching out to cold market. You can buy lists from list brokers. You can buy huge lists for really cheap.
So that's where the direct mail comes in, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So contact list, online search, direct mail. What's your fourth one?
delinquent taxes.
Delinquent taxes. Okay.
And that basically you can contact two different people, the homeowners themselves and also the buyers of those
Okay.
tax liens.
All right. And then you try to find their phone number and call them directly, or do you send them a mail or what?
I really believe in doing your work and letting people call you because the psychology at that time totally shifts.
Right.
Now, if you are in a very tight budget and you have time, then making phone calls makes much more sense.
Okay.
But if you have the money and you have some money to spend on marketing, do the direct mail marketing, let them call you, and then you will have much easier time getting all the information you need.
Gotcha. Great. So that's four. So what's number five?
Number 5 is networking.
Networking. Okay. And what's
Go
number
into all the
six?
RIAs and stuff like that. Number 6 is driving for dollars.
Driving for dollars. Okay.
People have done that for many, many years, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and we
That's
all
a,
know about that. Now, a few things I was going to show you, but go ahead, number 6.
yeah.
Number
So
7 would be real estate agents.
real estate agents. Got it. Okay.
One of the reasons I put real estate agents all the way at the end is
Mm-hmm.
some of the criteria that homeowners are very flexible. I teach people how to put property in a contract with no money out of your pocket, or use an option to put the property in a contract
Right.
and control. When it comes to the agent, they ask for earnest money.
Right.
Without earnest money, there's no offer with agents. They ask for proof of funds and those things. Now, not everyone want to do that or can do that.
Right.
So if you want to avoid all of that, then go directly to the homeowners that you can work with. And because of that, I put that all the way at the end.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, do you so like in your 90-day course, for example, do you suggest that your students go through this in this order, or do they do all of this at the same time, or?
Well, one thing I did, if I can show you on this little
Okay.
screen, I actually put this on a daily planning thing. Like
Nice.
day
Okay.
1, you use number 1. Day 7 is, day 4 is the delinquent taxes. On day 7, you do
I see.
the day number 7, call the
Okay.
real estate agents, and then so on, and repeat the process.
Gotcha. Okay. So each day you're doing one of these. Okay. Got it.
Each one. Now, like I said, one of the things, you do that for at least 2 to 3 weeks. See which one fits your personality, which one you're not forcing yourself to do.
Right.
And then if you don't want to do day 3, day 4, or day 5, and they don't fit your personality, then leave those alone. And then for the 90 days, just repeat the same process on those 2, 3 things that you want to do. Continue.
Yeah. I like how you said that a lot, because like some of us were more introvert, some of us more extrovert, right?
Yeah.
I know, like calling real estate agents, like that's for me, like I don't like that, right? I don't mind
Right.
going to networking to meet a bunch of people. That's a little
Right.
bit different environment, right? So I like that. I like how you said, all right, pick and choose from this, because all of these are very proven to work, right?
Exactly.
You know that, I know that, they're all very proven. And so, pick and choose. And then also too, some people get started in this business, they have more money than they have time. And some people get started, they have a lot more time and less money.
Exactly.
And so they can, so based on these 7 methods, they can, pick and choose of how much of what to do. So that's great.
Well, I started real estate, and first 3 years I did pretty well. I did 150 deals on my first 2 years. I did a lot of wholesaling, and since I was at risk, I put myself at a huge risk. I had to really make that money back, right? Plus,
Right.
I had a house payment, a car payment. My wife didn't work anymore. At this time, we have 2 kids and huge credit card bills, so I had to make something happen. So because of that, I worked really hard first 2, 3 years. And in 2004, there was a local company, which you and I both know, a mutual friend, talked to me, and they were like, "You're doing great. Would you mind being our leading coach?" Because
Right.
they were in the speaking business, and
Right.
so they hired me as their leading coach, as Alex I'm talking about.
Right.
So I became a part of a coaching program since 2004.
Gotcha.
I think that was a little too early for me looking at it back then, but I knew enough. I had gone through plenty of events, and I had done plenty of deals to use my own examples of what I have done in our local market. So I learned by working people what people do, what people want. Some people people are different. Like you say, some people are introverts, some people are extroverts, some people have more time than money, some people have more money than time. So I put this program together thinking about all of those. Let the people, make their own decision rather than me forcing them on doing things that they may not want to do. Because when you force people, nothing gets done.
Right. Yeah, and awesome. And then, another strategy that you use in your own personal business is bringing on, like teaching other people what you do and having them be a source of deals for you. So could
Yep.
you expand into that? If someone wants, if someone say, hey, I want to do that. I want to bring on, some students to help me do more deals. I partner up with them more deals. Could you explain your business model around that?
Well, one of the things I was going to put on that 90-day action plan is
Mm-hmm.
speaking and being a speaker and let people bring deals to you. But then I realized not everyone wants to do that.
Yeah.
When I learned about speaking, there are fears that we have in life, and people rather die, burn, or fall than speak in front of a group. So, when they rate the fears, fear of public speaking is number one, fear of burning is number two, fear of falling out of a tall building is number three, and fear of drowning is number four. I'm like, how does that make sense? I'd rather speak and save my life than do any of those other three. But that's why I deleted that out of, like, this is not for everyone. So I work with people. I do on some free speaking events. I put on some events that I teach, and those are
Mm-hmm.
paid events as well. Being in front of a stage or being interviewed by someone puts you in a different place automatically. Just because it gives you that credibility, it gives you that expert level status right away. So
Right.
because of that, people will trust you and bring you deals. And I have done a lot of that. I have done a lot of deals with my coaching students, partnership deals. I have done a lot of all my deals that I have done. I have used private money, and a lot of private money that I have raised is because of I have been in front of the stage and I talked
Mm-hmm.
about it, and people are like, "Well, I have money, but I don't have time, or I don't have real estate knowledge. So, can you use my money?" And of course, I gave them a high rate of return. I secure it by property. I secure it 10 different ways to make sure that they are totally safe, secure, and they get their return back.
Right.
And that's how I use it. Now, quite a few of my deals have been through other people because of that.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. Now, I know that you do charge them a fee to get started, right? And then, do you require them to do a certain amount of deal splits with them or a certain time frame, or how does that work?
Well, I give them a 12-month period to work with me. I have a 6 month option. So depending on which one they want to pick. I kind of make sure that they do at least a deal a month or so, and then we split deals. But there's no limited number. Now, if someone comes in and they are really hot and heavy and they want to do tons of deals, then we can put a limit on that, and I'm okay with it. But if in majority of the cases we don't set a limit, who knows? The more deals they do, the more money they make.
Yeah.
And the more deals they do, the more of my time will be spent helping him get those deals done. So it'll be only fair to get a portion of the deal because I'll be spending a lot of time on that. Because that's the way I have set up my program. I don't charge him a big amount. I charge him a smaller amount, but I work on him on deals so we can make money together rather than me making a lot of money. And if they do deals, great. If not, I know you have a very good program set up too, where your success and their success depending on doing deals.
Right.
So that's how I have set it up.
That's awesome. And I guess what would you say is the percentage of deals that you got as a result of coaching other people, like teaching other people?
A percentage of the deals I have done.
Yeah, percentage of like let's say on a monthly basis. Let's say I know you do like 3-4 deals a month. How many of those deals would you say comes from students, and how many of them come from other sources of marketing that you do?
I would say a good 60 to 70% of it my own deals because I do a lot of marketing.
Uh-huh.
I want to teach people, based on using my own deals, my own expertise as
Right.
example. So about 60, 70%, and
That's
sometimes even higher than that, my own deals.
right.
Because I work with 10 people at one time only, no more than that. Now,
Oh,
some
okay.
of them are very active, some of them are not. Like right now, um, I have a rehab deal that my coaching client found, and she didn't want to do the rehab. She was going to wholesale it. We decided on a wholesale fee, and I bought it from her. And I actually am closing that tomorrow with making $26,000 net profit. So I have another
Nice.
rehab deal that I bought with my coaching client. We fixed that one. It's on the market right now. Um, I have six other rehab projects that I have already, and some of them are completed. And then I did two wholesale deals with my coaching clients last month. They found a deal. They found a buyer based on what I suggested, what I taught them. They did whatever I told them, and it's done. And we closed the deals and made money. One of them we made $7,000 out of. The other one we made $6,500 out of.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I like that how that that teaching others, because that's what I do too in my business. Teaching others as another way to, number one, make some extra income, make some like another stream of income from coaching itself, and then another income from more deals as a result of that.
Right.
And as the more successful our students are, the more successful we are because of all the deals we do with them. So that's really, that's really awesome. So we're going to wrap up this interview here. If people want to learn more about you and, connect with you, like, where do you want to send them?
You can go to my website, rocktheinvestor.com. I was going to show you some samples of the
Oh, yeah.
flyers and stuff you asked me to, but if you don't have, okay. We have a couple of quick things. This is one of the postcards that I send out. As you can see, it's yellow with black written. These are for vacant houses when I find them.
Oh, okay.
Here's another one that we actually printed out a little larger print. These are the ones that we leave behind when we go to door knocking, or my coaching students go door knocking.
Okay.
I printed this for myself, created this where I go to some of these events, networking events, or my own speaking events.
Kind of like
I
a
just
business
take
card.
those. It's a huge business card.
Okay, yeah.
So also when I meet people, and the orange with black print, we buy houses all cash with my information when we go to door knocking. Here's one that I also use for door knocking. We buy houses at door hanger, and on one side of it talks about their, a situation. Are you in divorce? No equity, no, house needs work and all of that on my website, and right away. And so when I go to networking, because I have written like 5 books, I usually take one of my books depending on what the event is. So someone who's interested in becoming a coaching client, I usually give him one of my books, or sell him one of my books, and see if they like more. Then they can come to me for more information. So that's how I usually set myself apart and separate from other people.
That's really cool. That's tons of credibility you have there. That's awesome.
So yeah, and here's something for people who want to give him business card, but in a bigger format. This is a quad fold. Talk about my coaching program. Talk about different things that I offer within the coaching program, or different levels of the program. So because a business card will not be able to deliver all this message in one place, right?
Right.
So a quad fold or a trifold will deliver a whole lot more information. So if you are somewhere, have all those things with you when you're talking to people, because you are the best marketing tool for your own business. So if you're going somewhere, you're going to be talking to someone anyway. Might as well talk about things you do, depending on what their interest is and what you see coming out of that conversation. Give them one of those pieces: your business card, your quad fold, your trifold, or one of those big business cards, something like this, so they can come back for more.
Right. I love that, and it's so clearly shown, like, your like your secret to success is just making sure everyone knows what you do, right? Like you have so many different ways to let people know what you do. And I think that's really great. And thank you so much for sharing with us all of that.
You're
All of that.
welcome.
That's awesome.
You're welcome too.
Yeah, cool. So repeat the website again for people to go.
RockTheInvestor.com.
RockTheInvestor.com.
Yeah, that's ROCKTHE, investor.
All right, awesome. And then I have another big question for you. You ready?
Okay.
So this interview is part of what we call the Heroes Alliance.
Yep.
And the word hero stands for, heart-strong entrepreneurs who believe in getting rich by enriching others.
Okay.
So let me ask you this, like, do you see yourself as a hero?
We all are heroes one way or another. We may not be the hero that most people are looking for and we save the world, but we are working with other people. Just by working with other people, giving some of you to, some information, some education information, some great tips and things like that. You never know how far that will go, and that might save someone's day or someone's business. So in a way, we are all heroes in one way or another, just depend on how far we want to take that and go with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rock, for this awesome interview, for all the, your 7 ways to find deals, all your marketing pieces that you share. Thank you so much for all the wisdom, and thank you for the difference that you make out there with the sellers and the buyers, and as well as all the students that you worked with and teach and help as well. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me and inviting me here. Appreciate
awesome.
you.
Well, happy investing, and see you next time.
Thanks.